yo, MTR, come on up, bro.
Duke, what up, baby?
What's good, MTR? Welcome to the stream, bro. We gotta talk about this because,
bro, let's talk about it.
Listen,
I want you to ask whatever question that you want.
It's gonna happen, bro, because you got covered in shit on this one, bro.
Now, listen. I'm all for taking the L. You know what I'm saying? But just like I said at the end of the video, it's not about taking the L. It's what you do after the L. All right.
No,
so if I gotta stand over here with egg on my face because I did something that I absolutely. But Duke, you did just say something I want to circle back to. You said he didn't fool you. My art. See, here's the thing. He fooled everybody. How? He lied about getting fired. He lied. So he lied. And here's the thing. Abba and Preach, they like the conversation that I have during that live stream about Abba and Preach. Yeah. Abba and Preach still thought that he got fired too. I still thought he got fired because he's just outright lying.
We did that too because we don't know. We didn't know, right? Because that's what everybody was running with. So I'll give you that. We all got bamboozled on that part.
So here's the thing, bro. So a lot of people are trolling me now because of the 5-hour live stream. When in reality, if I didn't do the 5-hour live stream, he wouldn't have been exposed this early. I'm the first one to do it with the help of Queen of Accountability. Let me give her a just due. Between me and her together, besides this, everyone's commenting like, oh, look at his behavior. He's probably a scammer. No, but there
were other channels who were coming out with information on this guy already, right?
I'm the first one to say that he never got fired from anything, that he made that story up.
You said that, but I would say the only one thing I'll give you credit, your live stream credit for, and I did do that in my first video on this, was that he exposed himself on your live streams. The criticism I have for you is that you didn't go crazy on her. Like, you didn't go crazy on it. Because, like, it was like, there were certain things like, okay, so the first part where he said, oh, absolutely not. My ex was lying about me ever putting my cell phone there in the car. And then, like, you asked the question again, but you were almost like, you were polite about it, but you were still asking the question. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, you know, I did do that one time. Yeah, you know, I did.
Now, dude.
It was just like,
I get you.
Cool.
And I accept it. Duke, I accept the criticism. But would we have gotten as much information if I shut him down?
He probably would have crashed out on you. We probably just got content.
All right. So listen, you know, we 3 levels deep, baby. Okay, so let me ask we 3 levels deep.
Why is it though that you gave him such a big leeway? Because you did. You can't just sit there and deny that. Because a lot of people
because Duke, I thought at that time, just like everybody, that he got fired because he was an asshole. I legitimately thought that. You legitimately thought that. Abba and Preach everybody legitimately thought that. Because at the time now mind you, this all happened on Friday. Today's Monday. So there was 3 days later where now I release a video that's just like, all right, he got me. Because I believed him. Now, like, if you want to criticize me because I believed him that he really got fired, then you just said a second ago that you believed it as well.
But MTR, we're going back to the firing. I agree with you on that. We got bamboozled on that. But I'm talking about like some of the other things that he said that clearly proved that this guy, he wasn't 100%. He lied to you like 4 times. Not just you. He lied to you and your fans like multiple times. Some of the people in your fan base, they caught it. Like, look, you would look at
they did.
They were like, "Oh,
it's smart fan base."
Even when he was talking about the baby, talking about I can't answer that with that person. Yeah. If one has a baby, present them. Like even your chat was like, "Yo, this nigga lying." He lying through his mouth. But like the thing is, that's when you come in and say, "Okay, all bets are off." The energy that you have in this video we reacting to, that was the energy that was needed right then and there in that 5-hour live stream, right?
But looking at the context of the whole stream, right? He all of the things that he told me, because Lord knows what's true at this point. He has deep issues. And I commented many times how many deep, traumatic, toxic background. He's going to have toxic relationships going into the future. He starts naming all this toxic shit, but also at the same time, he's saying that the chick is lying. The Latino chick is, by the way, let me also say this as well. I apologize wholeheartedly to the Latina chick. I apologize wholeheartedly. The things that I said during that stream at that time, it's not something that I should have said, and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that at all. So I do take those things back. Actually, I had a conversation with the young lady a couple of hours ago, and I apologized to her face to face. So I will say that. So I will say that. At the same junction, though, his shit is just full of toxicity. So I'm just like hearing this shit, and I'm just like, God damn. Now, but Duke, I don't know, of the 5 hours, how much have you seen? Many of those times when he would say something like that, I said that's wrong. You know that, right?
Yeah,
like the tractor in the car.
Yeah, we gave you props for that. No, we were completely 100%. We gave you props for that, right? I think even people here, they like you. It's just that they just thought like, yo, this is like a weird thing to see you doing what you're doing when clearly this guy is lying, right? And what made it even weirder was there was a good majority of your audience. I don't say majority of it, like probably a subsection of them that were very amped up with the story, right? And part of it will probably say, I would have to put the blame on you, bro, because it seemed like they were kind of just wired up based off the previous stories that were done following up to the live stream, right? Because now everyone's bought into the story of this downtrodden guy, and you know, and even at the start of your live stream, because I even kind of felt bad. Guy was talking about he got shot in the head, his childhood was just a complete disaster. I'm like, oh damn. I've never been shot in the head, but I might be crazy too. I don't know, right? We just don't know what might happen. So all that.
I'm showing empathy for that, bro. I mean, I was showing, and I was conducting this like a podcast. On a podcast, you're not gonna be right. Like, I don't know. I'm just have to believe what he tells me. And at this point, I still thought that he got fired, right? Like, and he's just telling me, he's giving me the okie doke, like, oh yeah, I'll get you that information. And I'm just like, okay, like, why would I not? Because you also got to stand this, bro. Like, I'm not a scammer, so it's not top of mind for me. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like when someone's doing that, and as deep as what he's going, I'm just like, now I take accountability though.
I put you in that category of like scammers and whatnot. Like, you're not gonna see me, you know, criticizing you on like courses and whatnot. Because again, you're a legitimate person. You gotta be in business and whatnot. If you decide to give a program or a course on business and whatnot, it is like you have that experience to do that. Like, you got an MBA or something like that. Like, I won't put you in that category, right? But it's mainly stuff like this that we talk about, where it seems like you're giving guys like this a huge leeway where it doesn't need to be. And some of, you know, because you got a huge percentage of fans that are women too, and they're looking at this like, bruh, what? Like, clearly this guy is got some flaws, and you're giving this much leeway. I mean, even before, like, okay, he lost his job. That's horrible, right? But like some of the shit that he was saying, that's you got to be like, yo, something's not making any sense, right? And it was during that 5-hour live stream. So I would give you the grace period, like at the start of the live stream where he was going into the sob story and whatnot. Fine. But then when we got into the receipts part, and then he starts going into the receipts and things not start matching up, then I'm just like, okay, hold up. It goes from, you know, I'm feeling sorry for you to like, maybe you're the problem. Maybe this guy's a problem. But
and I do not disagree with you. And I think at the point where I'm reaching, and that if I was to change anything about this situation, I would have asked, like, if I was to do this again, and I'll say this is that, you know, I think you said earlier that, you know, I give a lot of leadway when the fact that this is my first time doing like a podcast like this with somebody, like a digital live stream. It's my first time. Like, literally, I'm just thinking to myself, okay, you know, let me experiment with different ways to do content. This situation came up because if you look at my catalog, I haven't live streamed for like 6-7 months.
Yeah.
Right. I download StreamYard just to have this conversation with him, because I believed that he got fired, which to me, bro, like, if I'm saying that my mess, like, I'm creating content to restore power to men, and I want to get these stories out there, and everybody believes that he got fired, and he got fired for being an asshole, which I said on my reactions, I would not say that. I would not conduct myself like that. There's things that he could do better, right? Yeah. And there's a sliding scale depending upon if you think that what he's doing is being an asshole, or if you think that, you know, he's just clapping back or standing up for himself in an entertaining way. Like, anywhere in between that didn't deserve to get fired. So that was my presumption.
Yeah, and I thought, here's the thing, I thought you were right. And that's why, you know, the longer we look at it, the more it looked kind of sus, right? Because then why would you get fired for something so mundane? It's not you said anything bad, or you were...
It had me livid, bro.
Like, I wouldn't even think most women, even someone who are real sensitive, would even have a problem with what you're saying enough to be that invested to call your job and then get you fired. That was the one thing I found like nuts, because it's just weird. Because even there are people on on platforms that have said way worse than what this guy said. He was just being passive aggressive. So that was like a huge red flag to me. But it was just one of those things that, would you agree though that the overall, and maybe it's not, I'm not saying that your audience, but like it wasn't just your audience though. The majority of the red pill, actually a lot of the spaces caught onto this and were running with this story. Would you agree though, the people who were primed to do this, even though like they can easily just research this guy's name, were they already like, I don't want to say, were they already kind of conditioned to already view the dynamics this kind of way, where when it involves a woman and certain things like this, and then they're just ready to crash out? No. You know what I'm saying, or what?
So I let me try to paraphrase it, see if I'm understanding your question correctly.
Yeah,
you're asking, is my audience
not your audience? I'm talking about the people who reacted how emotionally to this story, right? I'm thinking,
who is that? I don't know if I know of.
It's not you specifically. So, okay, so you have the huge community. I'm talking about the audience, the fans, not influencers, but there are influencers who reacted to it, and their fans are more sympathetic to red pill ideologies, we would say. So let's use this statement better. Fan bases that've seen that story that are more sympathetic to that kind of red pill story, right? Where they see a guy who stands up for himself, and then all of a sudden the women or the Matrix try to smite him down for standing up for himself. To me, I think like they were primed for that, right?
I think I understand your question now. Let me try to answer it like this: is that this is not a red pill thing at all. What this is a man who according to him, got fired because of comments on a dating show. That's wrong. That's not pill anything. This has nothing to do with pill shit. That's wrong. I interviewed him. Full stop. That's it. 3 days later, this is my new video. This is not a pill anything. This is not I think male or female, if that happens, it's wrong. That should not happen. That's cancel culture. Right. For him being an asshole? To get fired from his job? But I believed it. You believed it. Albert Priest believed it. Everyone was just like, but because of my close relation with him, that I was talking with him, now I can come out and say, this guy's not giving me the information that I need to feel comfortable that he hasn't created a fake GoFundMe. So now the ball's on his court. Show us the evidence, bro. You're gonna get on these other platforms.
You're still open to him giving you that evidence, right? So it's not like
I actually say it at the end of the video.
That video because you didn't mention it, but we saw the screenshot. It seemed like he turned on you, right? Or is he's blaming you now?
Yeah. No, he's mad at me.
On that, can you go into that a little bit?
I mean, he's just mad at me. I mean, my thought is that, you know, it was all good. And then, when I started to ask, okay, but receipts though. And then now I'm like trying to paint him as something. And I'm just like, okay.
I thought maybe he rewatched that live stream he did with you and probably realized maybe I said some things that made me look foolish and his immaturity couldn't handle it. So he flipped it on you. Because the way he was texting you, and at least the screenshot, it made it seem like, oh, wow, you've ruined my life. You made me look crazy. Like, how can you make him look crazy if in the receipts you're just asking for follow-up? That was weird to me.
I don't know how he could say I'm making him look crazy when he did the interview. And he was happy with the interview. I don't know how I can make him look. I don't know. It just didn't make any sense, bro.
But I don't think you did, though. I think the fact that, well, you did kind of, because you were doing your job. You were asking, even though you could have asked it a little bit more, pointed, to get to the point, you still restated the question and say, hey, so just to be clear, you didn't put the phone in the car, or just to be clear, you didn't show up at the job. He's the one that self-snitched and said, no, I actually did those things, right?
And I told him it was wrong after I said that.
Yeah, so I think the part of me thinks that he knew he was, because there were certain parts where he said, oh, this is going to make me look crazy, but I don't care, right? I think there were during those parts where he probably realized, oh, shit, I probably fucked up, and my image is probably fucked up. So then maybe combined with you pressing him for the receipts, then he decided, well, oh, yeah, you ruined my life, you ruined my image, you're making me look crazy. Because otherwise, either he's psychotic to think that you pressing him for receipts to help him is you making him crazy, or he watched that show and realized he fucked up, and then he's blaming you for it. I don't know.
Bro, I have no idea. I have no idea. If he wants to show us all that show us a screenshot from a text message, from an email, get a recorded. Show us that your employer called you that day. Something. Give us the name of a business.
Do you have a name at this point? By the way, do you have a name of the employer? At least a name.
So the queen of accountability. Shout out to Daphne. Shout out Daphne.
Good.
Much love. Oh, she
good.
is.
Holy shit,
she is good.
Damn,
she is.
Think them even realize that nobody mentioned the fake company.
She's good. Listen, I'm so happy to have a friend like her.
Okay?
Yeah. And, especially in this conquest of truth, right? And I think that I'm more than happy if he can present these things, but I think he's going to do a follow-up conversation on the first channel that he went for that podcast. And they're going to do probably what I did, which is to listen, not try to pick sides, and just receive his information. But all my question is just ask him, provide the evidence of you be getting fired. See, the thing is, if he set up the GoFundMe, bro, and it had nothing about him getting fired, if he just said, I went viral in a show, a bunch of people talking bad about me, here I got this humanitarian stuff, and I might become a content creator, all fine. But it's that he said that he was fired. And that saying that you're going to be saying that you were fired, it's going to exponentially increase the amount of donations that are coming in.
Yeah.
So, and at that point, it's a rota situation. So, and that's why I said all the way up to my first video, hey, I don't have the proof. So I'm not going to put his link down up in here, but I did have the conversation with for the 5 hours. And it was a good conversation, I thought. Now I'm coming to find out that, he may not tell the truth as much as what I gave him credit for. So the thing is, if people want to say, you should have known. I mean, has no one ever lied to you ever in your life? Has no one ever lied?
Saying that right now. Listen, and I equate that to because I went through the whole Daisy situation, right? And that was always I made the equation to that because you made some statements too that no one else has proven just yet, right? And that's the thing. There's no proof of that. And when she came on here and did research and whatnot, there was all these researchers proving what she did for her job, but there were still people with that same assumption saying that she was an escort, even though there was no proof of it, right? And there's still no proof of it. But in this case with the men, this is where you're getting fried at, right? Because the double standard. They've seen certain content of yours and saying, okay, they see the leeway being given to these men on certain situations, but then when it comes to the women, come down hard. And some people FDR think that that's probably why you end up on the Homeland Security list. It probably wasn't an accident. They were looking for you because of shit like this, right?
So here's the thing. I don't think we have enough time to go into the Homeland Security list thing. I mean, unless you want to, but But at the same junction, when you say not go hard on the guys, I mean, if you look back on the content of the channel just over the past couple of weeks, there's been multiple times where I've called out guys. I got a video up here 2 weeks ago. Simp man rage quits after failing to intimidate man. I have another video. Emotional man gets humbled by logical man. Shout out, what's this brother's name? This podcast. Forget the name of this guy. That's no disrespect to him, but it was two guys having an argument and I called it out. I also got content where I react to dudes fighting over something and I'll label it like fake tough man, Shit, I just did the reaction to Wes Watson. Didn't you talk about that?
Yeah, that guy's a clown, bro.
Right. So
diaper booty.
so for people who are just saying that it's right, I focus on behavior. Yes, it's more women. I will give credence to that, but men like to talk about women. So that's going to be the majority of the content. That's not going to change.
That's fair. We can't really press it.
But Duke, if there's a narrative that's saying that I don't call it out on the other side when F-ish arises, then that's not true. Okay. That's people looking at what they want to see and judging by their biases. That's just not true.
Yeah, okay, I see you got a point. Okay, to be fair, and you admitted that, your majority it is mostly women, but I haven't seen, some of the stuff, the men stuff. So I'd admit that. So yeah, so if you have that stuff, videos up there, then yeah, I guess you are, but it's just more, the scales are more for women, and you admitted that, then men want to.
Yeah, there's no secret.
So as long as you're honest with that, that's fine. So at this point right now, what do you think? You don't think there was ever a job with this guy?
No, I think I think what happened is that he wanted to say something when he was on that show that was credible, and he said plumber. I think he said licensed plumber. Now, whether or not he has a license or not, whether or not it's active, I don't know. Show us, bro.
Yeah, can I ask you
now, in my guess is that he concocted the story about 500 calls to get him fired. That's my guess right now, based off of the evidence. And I'll tell you this: please go click into the Queen of Accountability stream on Wednesday, because she has a lot more. Like a lot. Like I was just like. I'm like, oh God, yeah, like a lot more
research.
And she's a research maniac. Wow. Like, with all respect.
Let me ask you this, MTR. Does this look like a plumber to you?
Dog, that it's so crazy. Now that I look at it, I'm just like, what?
Why is a plumber need a hard hat?
Well, there's a tool belt there.
I know it's the hard hat and the freaking vest that's throwing me off. This is not a typical plumber's attire. Why does he need a hard hat to fix your pipes? Huh?
It's more crossing guard, like a little bit. It is. But listen, hindsight is always 2020, Duke. Hindsight is always 2020. And at the end of the day, we got content pieces out of it that we can speak about. Because here's the thing: is that it started out as shit. They're clowning this guy. They're calling him sassy. He just got fired. He lost his job. He lost his ability to make money. How can I reach out? How can I understand his story? How can we turn this into a learning lesson just based off of having empathy for men? Shit, there was a discussion of man versus bear not too long ago. And I think to understand that man versus bear shit and to see that is actually being quantified by modern day educated women is scary to me, right? And I think that is what can go into why 500 women would call into his job. Oh, but it's not real, allegedly. Yeah. Now the learning is do more research, right? Yeah. MTR, take the L, and I absolutely will take the L. Bring it on. I will take the L. I'll take it out in public, but I'm not going to stop interviewing people.
No, don't do that. Don't stop. Nobody's saying should stop. It's just, the research thing. That's it, right? Can I get to the super chat? Some of them they're about you. So if you don't mind, right?
Do you want me here for the super chat? I feel like you should go to, because it's kind of late. I want to go to sleep. I'm on the East Coast.
I feel.
So, but Duke, keep doing your thing, man. It's you're definitely needed. You got to keep on criticizing, critiquing, giving feedback. Just keep doing your thing, brother. All right.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man, and respect to you coming on and take it easy. Just learn your lesson and move on from it. All right, bro.
You learned a lesson too. She lied to you. I mean, he lied to you too.
Listen, he lied to me. He lied to me. I get it. We all
lied to everybody. Listen, okay, but I'll take the L. All right, Duke. I see you,
got lied to. Shout out to you, though. All right? Take it easy, FTR. Hey, yo, give the dub for FTR in the chat. All right, he didn't have to be here, but he did. And he admitted some things he was lied to. It was some bullshit.